first of all, what does it mean to you to win the award tonight?
It's a weirdly hard question. I think for me, it feels almost like a coming of age, because I never expected any of these things to happen. And I've previously been very kind of self-effacing in interviews. I've not been a very confident interviewee. And I think what I'm trying to do tonight, what I'm telling myself, is that maybe I've earned it. Maybe it's okay to sort of acknowledge my place in the music industry here. And that's not to say, not to kind of blow my own trumpet or anything, but I feel I've worked really hard, and I'm trying very hard to see this as an acknowledgement of my hard work.
But this is something that you've done since you were a child, I believe. Where did that all start for you?
I just always sang when I was little, and my mum sang with me. And I then was very lucky. I learned piano, violin, and I grew up in Bedfordshire, where I now live, and the county youth music system was extraordinary. Really so fabulous. We had 4 orchestras that fed into each other. So coming up to the youth orchestra, the standard was very high. My first course, I remember we played Rite of Spring, and I was sort of sitting there at the back of the second violins, like really not able to sort of do all the right things, but just it was astonishing, the standard.
And how important was that for you, that orchestra for you as a young musician?
It was the orchestra, which was also a social life, and a really great thing to do outside of school. And I still see people from that orchestra from that time. But there was also the youth choir, there was a youth opera, and obviously all that's been a bit decimated over the last, decade. So we don't really have a youth orchestra anymore, let alone 4. The youth opera does still exist. I mean, there are people really working hard to keep those threads going. And I hope that I can be an ambassador for it anyway, just by being here. But also, I've got teenagers at the moment. I'm in a busy phase of life, but I hope as things sort of shift that I'll be able to become more active, because people are really, really working hard to keep it going. And I think it's so important.
Within the arts, whether it's theatre, whether it's music, it can change lives. But how hard is it to get that message across?
I think the clearest embodiment is when you see somebody. And there are experiences, I don't want to talk too directly about it, but people that have gone into Bedfordshire Youth Opera, for example, maybe being neurodivergent or feeling very kind of unsure of their place in society, and growing in confidence. And when you see it happen, that's the best advert for it. That's the proof. We know that. We know that it works. We know that it helps people to grow in whatever way. And it's criminal that that's taken away. But somehow we need to, be really educating the young people, and just not even educating them, just sharing the music with them.
So what does it mean to you tonight as well, performing amongst fellow musicians? Because very often you'll be performing in front of strangers, but here it's kind of performing amongst your own. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, it's quite scary. I mean, it feels there's quite a lot of pressure. But again, you hope that people are sympathetic, because we all know what it's like, or a lot of us know what it's like, to stand up on a stage in front of your colleagues, your peers, and people who you really admire, and do your thing. And I think, again, I'm just trusting myself that that I deserve to be here. And those, you have to tell yourself these things to get rid of the demons.
And finally, what about what's coming up next? What's in the pipeline for you?
Another recording. which I'm very excited about, with Joseph Middleton, who I work with a lot. He's my regular recital partner. We've got a fabulous new program that we've called Star Falling, and it's some repertoire that people don't hear me sing very often.